Hello, welcome back to our channel with Alan Dembski and Juliana Janson from Buffalo First Wealth Management. Today we're going to cover a topic that was actually given to us through our Facebook page. We asked people for some recommendations on topics that we can cover, and this is one of those topics. So today we're going to be talking about, the question was, how do we prepare your family in the event of a sudden health issue or a loss of life, which unfortunately is life, where it happens more times than not, obviously. But anyways, so one of the first things that we want to comment on this is, if you're experiencing, whether it's your health issues or somebody else's health issues that you're not quite sure about, the best time to do it is when, start planning for these things, because it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. It's not an if, it's a when it's going to happen. But having all your estate planning documents when you're in the right state of mind is one of the first things that you should probably get done. All the documents, making all the right choices, kind of planning for the what ifs, because the what if is, we're not here anymore.
And nobody really likes to do it. Nobody really wakes up and says, "Oh, this would be a great fun activity." But it really is essential. And Alan is exactly correct that to do it in advance when you're feeling well and there isn't anything imminent is the best time to address it. And the other thing we wanted to say is, there are some people that say, "Well, I don't have enough money for estate planning." There are documents that absolutely everyone should have, specifically starting off that list, besides a will, which is important, but a power of attorney and a healthcare proxy are two essential documents, so that if something should happen to you, someone that you designate is going to be able to make decisions. They're going to be able to access your accounts. They're going to be able to access funds for your care. And having that set up in advance is absolutely essential, no matter how much you have in investable assets. It's really absolutely for everyone. And the healthcare proxy will give permission to someone to make decisions about your healthcare, which is actually absolutely crucial. Healthcare is a complex maze today, and having the peace of mind to know that you've designated somebody that you trust to make those decisions for you can make life so much easier, not only for you, but for that person that's going to be handling your affairs.
In communicating what your wishes are with those people, what if I can't make a decision? What if I'm in a coma? What if my spouse is unavailable to make those decisions? Do we have backups for those things? And communicating the healthcare is probably, on the estate planning side, a little bit easier than actually discussing the financial part of estate planning, because nobody likes to talk about money. The studies show that nobody likes to talk about money. But whoever you name in your documents needs to know these things and needs to know where these documents are that they can find to help in the case of sudden emergency. And one of the other things is, if you're talking to a loved one and they say, "Well, what about life insurance? Do you have life insurance?" You're like, "Oh, no, I don't." And that person says, "Well, how are you going to pay for my final expenses?" Those conversations will start to come up in some of this, to make sure that things are being planned properly as you get older.
Yeah, and I think, I guess it's a matter of opinion. I think the healthcare stuff can be very difficult, because particularly if you are the person that's going to be getting the responsibility for the healthcare proxy, sometimes you have to ask difficult questions like, what happens if you are incapacitated? What kind of measures do you want to have done to you in these kinds of situations? And sometimes it can be very difficult to bring this up with a loved one, because nobody wants to think about their loved one being deathly ill. So I think both of them are difficult, but I think the sooner you broach it, the better. And I think having if you have, for instance, if you have a number of siblings, having this conversation, because usually it's the kids that are making this decision on behalf of their parents, not always, but if it is the children that are making the decision, making sure that everybody is on board and knows what mom or dad wants to do, so that when push comes to shove and the decision maker, the person with the healthcare proxy, is making those decisions, they're not getting second guessed along the way by the other individuals, because everybody is on the same page in terms of what the wishes of the person are.
Yeah. And I mean, a personal story is when my mom got sick, for years, she always said she wanted to be cremated and, what to do with her ashes. She had everything planned out and she told us numerous times, but then when she got sick and her health started changing and she kind of felt like, her days were numbered, that all started to change. And because she wasn't in the right state of mind, and then she started changing, it's like, that's not what you really said. But as people progress through, an illness, especially, they kind of forget what they said before because it's not in the moment. So being in the moment, I guess, is another, when you start planning, being in the moment of being in the right state of mind.
And I think that that's another reason to have all the stakeholders together, so that if the person is making a change of mind, you can have some discussion among you. Well, this doesn't make sense, and
Right.
and have some consensus there, which definitely helps in difficult times when you're trying to make some difficult decisions.
Yeah. And one of the things that will help you plan is we developed what's called the family roadmap. So if you stayed to the end of this video, which we hope you did, if you would like a free digital copy of the family roadmap, again, it's a document finder where you can list out all your personal information, where you have everything located. Other titles of this is love letters or
Love letter to your family.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of different things on Amazon and other places that you could find something similar. But since you stayed and watched our video, we will give it to you for free. Just send us a message at info at buffalofirstlllc.com, or you could reach out through one of our social media channels, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, or even YouTube. Just leave a comment and we will reach out to you, direct message you, and get your contact info to send that along. It is a fillable PDF, and again, it's free if you're interested in taking that. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.